Yep, I've got a big nerdy disease where I can't stand going through a week without making music, and it's so addictive to me. It's always been very addictive to me. I can't go through a day without touching a computer. I think the first instrument I've ever touched was my grandma's piano. And my grandma is actually from Holland. She lives in Dordrecht. And I used to just fool around and just play stupid chords and find chords by just pressing each note and see what fits together. But I remember telling my parents I was so obsessed by finding right melodies that actually work together as a progression. And I've always been in love with piano. I think it's probably my favorite instrument. But after that, the first instrument I bought myself was a drum kit to make my neighbors hate me and make a lot of noise. I think that's why I chose to make drum and bass as well, because drum and bass is the kind of music where you can combine all the melodics and the soulfulness of real soul music and hip-hop music and funk, and combine it with really energetic drums and fast breaks and stuff. And I think that's the two things I really like, and drum and bass is a genre that really lets you combine those two things in really energetic dance music. There's so much artists, big, huge artists in the 60s that made like 10 albums, like name 1 to 10. So that kind of backed me up. But I think for me it was really about trying to like find a name that really didn't make it like a huge story or a red line through an album. I just wanted to have a story for each song, and as I made every song like a different part of the world sometimes as well, I didn't really find there was an appropriate name for an album, and I found that like a lot of times. I just like a listening experience and finding a story behind every track, but I couldn't find a good name to like combine all the tracks on that album, maybe for a next album, but not for that album. It's something I grew up with, so I'll always have a love for drum and bass. I even like the old school, proper, hard drum and bass still. But I think for myself, I just like to experiment with a lot of new stuff. And for the next record, there's going to be some disco in there, maybe some reggae, a lot of hip-hop influences, some real soul music, and I just want to keep experimenting with that. I don't want to get stuck in this this little room where everybody expects you to make the same drum beat every time in the same tempo.
When will the album be released?
That's a good question. We hope to get it out like early next year, hopefully between February or March or something.